Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoyed these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the Omega Musuem Watch No. 4. Part of a series based on historic references in the Omega factory collection. This is the No. 4, also known as the Petrograd 1915 watch, a 2004 limited edition of, you guessed it, 1,915 pieces, all in rose gold with an exotic early 20th century tonneau shape and hinge lugs. The watch wears easily, though prominently, on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. The dimensions are unconventional at 32.4 millimeters from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, not including the crown, a reasonable 13.1 millimeters thick at the mid case. That's the thickness. It'll easily slide underneath the dress cuff, and to the end of the hinge style lugs, or at least to the pivot of the hinge style lugs, 47.1 millimeters across the wrist with an 18 millimeter lug spacing, or at least an 18 millimeter strap size. Now the timepiece features an extravagant tonneau form, which is, as you can see from this angle, cambered or arced across its back. The strap is a modern medium rectangular scale alligator leather, thin unbolstered in black with a monotone stitch and sheer sides showing the layers of leather. You can see that this is a new Omega factory strap, so you'll be the first one to gouge it, or I should say crimp it. You can see that this is a standard, simple rose gold Omega pin buckle, as the original watch would have featured a pin buckle, not a deployant. The hinge lugs are extravagant as they feature an intricate mechanism, and because of the way they pivot, there's a pivot for the strap and a pivot for the lugs. That double hinge giving the watch outstanding ergonomics, as you can pull it straight down around a small wrist. The case is bold and relatively simple. As you can see, there is a arcing contour when viewed from overhead and a relatively sheer side when viewed in profile. The bezel itself is more or less one and of a piece with the case, so the transition from case flank to bezel is completely seamless. The dial is of an extended and stylized fashion, often mistaken for Art Deco, but the actual expo of art décoratif that became the root of the Art Deco era didn't come about until 1 decade after this watch was made, so the exposition, as it's known, was long after this watch and its style were minted. This is really more of an Art Nouveau form, and it's Art Nouveau that lends its grace and occasional organic inspirations to the design of this dial, which features a number of hard angles but also impressive curves and a stylized early 20th century optimism that was largely lost subsequently in the First War. This is a watch from an era when it was believed almost anything could happen, and that kind of early 20th century European optimism and futurism was sort of dying out by 1915 as the toil and tumult of World War I sank in. So this timepiece, with a combination of a sort of ecru off-white base and black transferred numerals and calibrations, has a piano key railroad outboard for the minutes, lovely, one might say, assegai or spear style hands, vintage Omega logo and marquee, and then small seconds with its own railroad track and radially arrayed Arabic numerals down at 6 o'clock. Now the watch does feature a modern Omega 2200 caliber automatic winding 44-hour power reserve. You can see it features a stop seconds function. It's based on the ETA 28952, which is the small second version of the ETA 2892, which means it's a thin movement, and you can see the individual numbering as well as the notation that this is the Petrograd watch of the Omega Musuem Collection, Collector Series No. 4, 1915. You have that caliber 2200 underneath the case back, and a watch that is 30 meters water resistant. So it is not a robustly water resistant watch, but then again, with a vintage inspired dress watch, you wouldn't expect the like. That's why you have a Seamaster. Modern bulletproof running gear, sapphire crystal, components and quality of modern design and manufacturing tolerances in a timeless Art décoratif, Art Nouveau motif, an absolutely stunning watch and one of the largest and most physically imposing of the Omega Musuem collection. You can see the Musuem Watch No. 4, the Petrograd, and make it yours on the Watchbox.